Hello, it's Nate Uplifting Others. I want to talk about consent. The definition of consent is permission for something to happen or agreement to do something. Any and everyone that's in a sexual situation should always feel free to say yes or no. Consent should never be assumed. Some of the concerns regarding consent is underage consent, and that I feel like underage consent is like it's really not consent because the person is a minor and they're not of age to make that decision. And I feel like if someone's underage, I'll use the example 17 and 18, even though it's like not a big gap at all, but it could still be considered statutory rape. So that person's parents, the minor's parents, could get charges pressed against the one that's of age, and they could possibly go to jail, be registered as a sex offender just by that. That's that's one way of looking at it. Like, why not wait until that person, the minor, is of age, so that everything is everything. Another thing is, or a key point is intoxicated consent. Someone can verbally say yes, but they're not of sober mind. And it's not really considered consent to me. And it should be like that with everyone else, because if they've been drinking or they've been doing other things, and how can they responsibly give you a yes? They're not responsible to make that decision. First thing to be affected while becoming intoxicated is your decision making, which is your brain. You're not like, okay, when you're under the influence, like, you're not all there. Sometimes you can't even remember what you've done or how you got home or all the other stuff. So if you can't remember things, how can that person that's under the influence give you a yes type deal? Example, sometimes after the fact of drinking or whatever the case is, you can't remember what happened, may not recall saying yes or allowing yourself to be intimate with someone else. Always remember that an intoxicated yes is not consent. That's how I feel about it. Like I said previously, you can't really go off what that person is saying to you or doing, because they're not of a sober mind. They can't make the decision clearly to have sex. And body language is another big key. It's the process of communicating non-verbally through conscious or unconscious gestures and movements. Any signs of hesitation, take it as a no. Take that as a no. Don't go any further. Just respect that person's boundaries. Example, say if you're making out, kissing, your body can be saying one thing and your mind is saying something different. And you want to make out but never thought or communicated about going all the way. So it's like you're doing normal stuff and you don't want to take it to that point, or you didn't think about taking it to that point. And I feel like if you're kissing and the person starts to do other stuff that you are not comfortable with, always be like, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not comfortable. And if that person can't respect it, then that's violating you. So the verbal consent. Verbal consent is the only consent, a clear yes. And no means no. It doesn't matter if things happen before, if it's your spouse or if it's the body language is saying yes. You should never break that person's boundary. Once again, you can't assume that they're saying yes just because they're doing things or they're saying things. If there is any hesitation, take it as a no and give that person space and communicate with them. Like, is it okay if we go all the way? Or are you comfortable? And if that person is like, I don't know, or whatever the case is, like, it should be just that. Just say, okay, well, we could wait another time and let it be that. Don't get mad because the person says no or they're not sure, because that's considered rape, if you ask me. It is. And I feel like we are not educated enough on consent. So if we're not educated, how can we know what's right and what's wrong? I feel like, me personally, a lot of the stuff that I just went over, it should be, I'm not trying to like offend anyone. It should be like common sense. But a lot of people don't know. Like, say if it's two people that are drunk or intoxicated anyway, and they're making out and stuff like that, and they're not thinking clearly. So if the other person is hesitating, they're not going to see it because they're not of sober mind. It's so many factors that play a role in consent, and if you're not comfortable, please just verbalize. Even, I can't say that. I mean, verbalize it like you're not comfortable, but it's about that person that's want to take it to the next level, and if they can't respect that and how they go about it. So that's my views on consent, and I feel like only way that you can know that somebody wants to go all the way with you is them saying yes and actually communicating and not getting mad if the answer is a no. So that's all on that one. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Give me some feedback. And I haven't said this in a lot of my videos like that I've posted recently, but if anyone is going through anything, it doesn't matter if it's sexual abuse, any type of abuse, or any, just have things that they want to get off their chest. Like, I'm free to talk to anyone. It doesn't matter if we know each other or not. So just feel free to reach out to me. All my social medias will be down in the description. Thank you for watching.